I'm going to show you how to install drawer pulls and cabinet pulls. We painted our cabinets and we're adding new hardware. These cabinets and drawers didn't previously have any handles, so we installed these black ones, and I'm going to show you how to do it. The first thing you need to do is find the center point of the drawer. So you measure the height and the width and make sure you record it. Be sure to measure each drawer, as sometimes they're different. In this case, it was 19 inches wide and 6 inches tall. So the midpoint for height is 3 inches. So I have this adjustable ruler guide here, and I'm going to set it to 3 inches, and I'm going to mark the center of the drawer. So exactly half of 19 inches across is 9.5. I got a rough estimate of that. Now I mark 3 inches down from the top, and I try to match up those 2 points as best I can. Now the cabinet pulls we're installing are 5 inches apart. They should tell you that when you buy them on the box or the details. So the holes need to be exactly 5 inches apart, so 2.5 on each side of the center point. You're going to want to double measure and triple measure before you drill any holes because you don't want to mess this up. There's not a lot of margin for error when you start drilling the holes. So like I said, 9.5 is the middle of the width and 3 is the middle of the height. And I'm just marking it again just to verify, double measure. And now I'm verifying that it is in fact 2.5 inches on each side of the center point. And now I'm double checking the height of each, side hole that was 2.5 inches from the center. Just making sure that it's all the same height and that the pull is going to be absolutely level. So again, I measure one more time just to make sure everything's in line. Like I said, it's a 5-inch drawer pull from hole to hole. And so it needs to match up exactly in the middle, 5 inches apart. And it came with 2 sets of hardware, a short one and a long one. For the cabinet doors, you need the short one, but for the drawers, you need the long one because you have to drill through the drawer frame instead of just the cabinet door. So I used 2 drill bits, a smaller one at first to drill a guide hole. I'm going to do that right now because I triple measured and made sure that the hole was in the right spot. We're going to use the smaller drill bit to drill the hole. So after we're done drilling the first pilot hole, we're going to hold the pull up to the drawer and make sure it didn't walk on us when we were drilling so that the holes still line up exactly with the middle of the hole, almost perfect. So this one, it did move like a millimeter, so I just need to draw the line again to make sure that this lines up correctly. So you hold it up many times just to make sure you're doing this perfect. Like I said, there's not a lot of room for error. You can mess up a little bit and fix it, but you want to get it right the first time. So now I'm putting in the bigger drill bit, which is slightly bigger than the screw for the pull, for the handle. So again, I hold the drawer pull up and make sure that it's still lined up. Everything looks good. So I'm going to carefully drill the second hole using the thinner pilot drill bit first. With that fully through, I'm going to hold it up one more time just to make sure we're still on line because you can move it a millimeter left or right if you had to. Now I'm going to use the bigger drill bit and drill the final hole. As you can see, it turned out pretty perfect. Now we're going to take those long screws, the long hardware that I was talking about as opposed to the short one. Just put it through. And I'm not going to use a drill because I don't want to crack anything and over torque it. But I'm just going to get started by hand and then finish with the hand Phillips screwdriver. It can be hard to get these holes exactly perfect, exactly 5 inches apart. So what I like to do is slowly put each side in, going back and forth a couple times just to make sure the pressure is distributed evenly. You do got to get it pretty close to spot on or you're going to be fighting those screws going in. And you also want to make sure when you drill those holes that they're completely straight through, not at an angle. That's another reason why it could fight you as you're tightening these down for the handle. So with those all tightened up, you can see, looks pretty good. Now we'll check out the front. It's almost dead in the middle. Like I said, you can be a little bit off and fix it. So the holes need to be perfectly spaced apart, but it can be a little off center and still give a good look. And this is how it looked after I did a few more. If you use patience, take your time and measure a bunch before you start drilling holes, you can make it look very good. If you found this content helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll put a link to the handles I used in the video description.